Yo, what's going on, survivors? How y'all doing? Welcome back to another ARK mod showcase video. And today we have an awesome mod to talk about. And I do say, it's going to be one of the mods I use quite often in my servers and on single player. This mod definitely changes ARK. So, without further ado, let's jump right into it. At any point in time, if you do enjoy the video, hit that like button, subscribe for some more ARK, and let's rock and roll. So today we are going over the GDG mod. Okay, some of y'all know about this mod already. It's formerly known as the GDG tools, but now it's the GDG Reloaded. And we're gonna go through a few items this mod has. There's tons of items that this quality of life mod brings to ARK that is extremely helpful, super awesome, and somewhat broken. In each room we would have a set of items that we would talk about, and in the next room we would go on. They would just get crazier and crazier. So let's jump right into it. Of course, starting with the first thing we have is the bed. I know, you're like, what? But no, the bed is actually very useful. It actually has 0 cooldown time. So like most modded beds, you don't have to worry about you having to wait if you are playing on PvP, or if you're doing a cave run, and if you had a bed down, you can instantly respawn. Also, we have these storage containers, which are pretty helpful, pretty useful. They have a whole bunch they're definitely hold more than a storage box, traditional storage box. So super awesome, super helpful. And then they have these different tables where you can just set up your storage box on top, or just to add more organization to your base and whatnot. Which then brings us to the grinder, which starts off as your starter grinder. You can just basically salvage any materials. And then you have your forge, scrap forge, where you can cook every meat in the game. You can even cook your gasoline and smelt metal in this sucker. It's actually pretty awesome. Need condensed gas or congealed gas balls? You can even craft that inside this. Like I said, this mod starts going crazier and crazier the further we get into it. We have even larger chests. I believe these hold up to like 125. So yeah, super helpful. And they can be stacked, of course. And again, it just adds more organization to the little base you have going on. Right here we have the preserving bins. And this item right here shows you the first thing we can do with these mods, and that is change the look of some of these items. So let's just say you're worried about performance and you don't want this RGB flashing nonstop. So you can go ahead and just change it to something more that suits your taste. How about maybe even just some red? Pretty awesome, not too bad. And like I said, this is like the first section of these items that the mod has. This next room, it gets even crazier. So let's go ahead, jump right into this one. Just glance really quick. So right over here, we have some of the main backbone of these mods right here. And that is the GDG workbench. And this is right here where you craft all these wonderful items. So we'll go ahead and look at that. And like I said, tons and tons of items. And inside these, of course, they have other stuff that you can go ahead and craft, like weapons and tools, which we'll get into that further down in the video. Now, as well as that, we have the smithy and mortar. Now, this table right here, this smithy and mortar you can craft everything in this thing, from armors to ammo, structures, you name it. This mod really goes up and beyond when it comes to quality of life. Yes, you can see a glance of some of the ammo we have inside here, as well as all your vanilla structures going all the way down. Super awesome. Like I said, this is one of the most used mods I put on. There's tons of quality of life ones, but this one right here has items that you basically only need this mod for. So, coming to some of the broken items now, we have this modular box, which right here you can go ahead and craft a glider that has no fall damage, even faster top speed. You want to put some armor on your dino that also has increased XP gain. Go ahead, boom. You can go ahead and knock it out. There's 3 different variants of that. And then for all my Megalosaurus fans out there, this is for you. The bag of coffee beans literally keeps the Megalosaurus awake the entire day. You don't have to worry about it taking a little nap or anything like that. Super awesome. Now, let's just say you're needing sap for a certain recipe, or let's just say you just don't want to go to the redwoods, or you don't have the redwoods in your map. Let's just say you're trying to live in extinction inside the city, and you don't want to be traveling around having to go harvest trees or look for sap. They have this, a tree, the sap tree that produces sap over time for you, just passively. And then you can just set that up there, come back whenever you're ready, and just there you go. Like I said, these 2 items the start the list of broken items that this mod has. But like I said, I've used this for PvP servers. I'm using it currently now actually on one of my Lost Colony servers because it adds so much value to ARK and it has so much to offer. Now, the third thing, we have potions. Let's go. And all kinds of potions. Potions to heal you, potions to heal your dinosaur, potions to keep your dinosaur a baby, potions to instantly grow it up. Of course, all kinds of those good modded potions that you would have to add other mods to have. This one has it. You don't have to go anywhere. You can just totally just throw this one in there and you're good to go. Stuff like keeping your dino well fed, as well as a dino mind wipe. So let's just say you weren't paying attention, you were chalking the levels, thinking you were hitting damage, and it was all going into weight, which I'm very guilty of doing. Yeah, go ahead and just reset the dino, get all those points back, and then reallocate them wherever you want to put them at. So yeah, this mod, I'm saying this is already the second room we have, and it's getting crazier and crazier. So right now, if you can see, we already have, I mean, pretty obvious, some vaults. I want to say these vaults have 400 storage capacity, and if you can see, you can also change the color of them and the size, and it still keeps the maximum storage. So if you don't want to have a big old clunky base and you don't want to have too many boxes around, get a tiny one, tiny little vault. Like I said, still holds so many good items. Just transfer this stuff. Look at that, and we still have space. Clear the whole inventory. We have space. But yes. Now, to the third room. Now, again, everybody, if you're enjoying this video at any point in time, hit that like button. Subscribe for some more art content. I do a whole bunch of modded playthroughs and mod spotlights, and I would greatly appreciate the support. Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all. But okay, now to one of the most broken items in the game. Now, this was out. This mod has been out for a while. This was out before the Blood Forge. But this is the GDG Fixer. Okay? You can literally fix any weapon, any piece of equipment or item in the game. And it requires what this mod has, which is called gickets. Kind of like its own little currency that you could craft inside this next little structure that I'm finna to show you. But yes, right here, we have a server transmitter. You want to transfer off the server if you have a cluster. And like I said, I use these for plenty of my servers. And with this, you can just put these in your base. You don't have to travel far. And you can go ahead and just transfer between the next one. Go to your club ARK and go back to your server and so on and so forth. This little item right here, you can get DLC items and cosmetics. Check this out. You were wanting to craft some Winter Wonderland outfits that you couldn't get, you could roll for it and see if you end up getting the little Krampus outfit or a Christmas hat that you've been looking for. They come from all the holidays and all the little special events. They have it right here. And then this is where you can also craft those gickets that we just talked about for that fixing machine. And like one thing before I go off of this, you can even craft an Apex drop. or an alpha drop. Look at that. Random high BPs. This mod can get crazy and it can get out of hand pretty fast. Alright. On top of that, it has the Bob's Todd Tails included into this. So we have a table for each one of the DLC releases for Bob's Todd Tails. There you are. You can see all the Steam Forge stuff and of course the post-apocalyptic stuff. It's the same thing in each table. It just has a different layout. But yeah, super awesome. There's Sir Mate. There he is. And then now to number 2, the absolute second most broken thing in this mod is this grinder. What it's called, but it's more of a conversion tower, if I could say that. It doesn't matter what map you're playing on now. With this mod, you can get resources from anywhere. Just say you're on the island and you want to make some flamethrower ammo and you don't have any cactus sap or propellant. You can go ahead and just craft that up inside here. And it tells you what you need for that. Don't forget, you have your sap tree in the other room inside your base. You can get the sap to then craft your cactus and then go on and so forth. You need sulfur, put a dino egg in here. It goes all the way to, where was it? Extinction and Genesis. Now, one thing that I really like is the meats. All right. So, you tired of going out and slaying like 20 Carnos and 5 Brontos only to come back with 15 like raw prime meat? And then by the time you get back to base, some of it expires, so you actually come back with half of that. You use the meat conversion part, where you can throw raw meat into prime meat. The same with the fish. Raw fish into prime fish. Right here. This, if you were to download this mod and try it out for any 2 reasons, it would be this tower and this little equipment right here, as well as this bad boy. And we have so much more to offer. Now it comes to just some nice little like quality of life items, of course. A nice little shelf for artifacts, an artifact collector. So as soon as you get into base, you can just throw that out of your inventory, and it would pick up the artifact right here, as well as the flusher. So you can go ahead. Let's just say you have too many of one item, you have too many wood, too many thatch. You're just trying to get rid of it. Go ahead and just clear out your inventory completely, and you're good to go. No more messy inventory, no more just having too many items. So there you are. And then this. Something simple and something sweet. Not most people do it, but you can. A fishing chair. Yes, there is fishing in ARK. I know a lot of people don't know that and don't remember that it's still here, but it is. And this even actually works like a preserving bin. So when you're out there already by the shoreline, no need to run back and forth having to go get your honey or any other like item that you need leech blood. You can just go ahead and just have that already in your chair and be ready to go. Now, we have plenty of items to go. Thank y'all so much for being here. Thank y'all so much for sticking around for the video. Like I said, this mod is probably one of the best quality of life mods out there, and it is the GDG. Now, right here, we have the sorting machine. So once you get your base situated and you have these items situated, you can go ahead and set up your sorting machine. Just send the materials into these bad boys, which then craft certain items that you can go ahead and select. So before you set one down, you're able to select anywhere between clay, wood, or even like uh, spark powder, and to even polymer and electronics. And as long as you have the metal and pearls, you just throw it in here, and then you have like basically a dedicated storage crafting station for that one item. Super helpful. Next is the cauldron, which, of course, it's a cauldron. You're going to be making, it's more like a cooking station. You know? You'll be able to make your dyes, your kibbles, your soups, little health potions, health brews, but extremely fast, like at least 10 times faster than you would in a regular cooking station, which is awesome, awesome, awesome. And of course, what kind of man cave would it be without a beer station? And a very fast and easy beer station to start to use, which is super helpful, especially if you want to tame some megatheriums. You want to be making a couple 6-pack of those. And then in the beginning, we saw the jerky powder. So some creatures will require you to have jerky meat depending on the requirement for their imprinting. And then boom, no problem. Really. Okay. ARK was never meant to be balanced. Okay. It was meant to be fun. And this mod right here, if you want jerky, if you want prime meat, you can go ahead and just knock it out the park. And it is absolutely amazing. Alrighty. And then on top of that, that was all about feeding ourselves and getting our supplies. And now, talking to our dinos, we have a feeding trough that you can set to automatically start feeding your dinos and not have to worry about coming back or refilling the trough. Now, this is absolutely amazing. You turn it on, and it's good to go. You don't have to worry about anything. Now, next to that is a gotcha collector. You can throw this sucker down next to your 2 gotchas and not have to worry about picking up those crystals. Then you come back over here, it automatically collects it for you. So this is almost like a solo grinding mod, but I mean it has so much to offer. Whether you're playing by yourself or you have a full tribe, it's definitely worth it. Now, this is probably the most useful item and how we're able to use this for a PvP server. And this is the ammo crate. And you can just take a glance at all the items we have here. Of course, we have our vanilla ammo towards the bottom. And then you can see up top, we have a whole bunch of modded weapons, or modded bullets, I should say. You could craft in bulk for simple rifle ammo, or even simple bullets. And then, of course, we have these special rounds where it's dragon breath, okay? You can have fire rounds on your shotgun, or if you wanted to free someone like Sub-Zero, you have nitrogen rounds. And then we also have bleeding rounds that basically hit like a Thyla, or like it says, like a Kentro. So super awesome. And not to mention the narcotics or the tranks, the GDG tranks are extremely OP. So I want to say it'll take maybe 2 or 3 arrows with a primitive crossbow or a bow to even knock out maybe a 150 Rex. Which we use these on our PvP server so that we could build up our army quick. And there's not really much of a hassle if you do get into a little fight or a war with another tribe and it goes south. You can just go out there and regrind everything back and in good time, not have to wait so long. Now that's a whole bunch of stuff about like taking out some dinos. They have bullets that you can heal dinos. You can shoot your tame from a distance. Let's just say you send it out there and it's in the middle of a raid, or if you're doing an outpost on the Lost Colony map, you can just shoot the dino and it will give it health, max health, 50% health, and you can just craft certain ones. So super awesome. Right here, this ammo crate. And that's already 3 reasons why this mod. You should definitely give this mod a try. But now we're coming in to our final room, and it's the end of the video coming up, and this is it right here. This right here is the vanilla auto turret. Nice. This is the GDG OP turret, which I believe it shoots 5 times more damage and 10 seconds. It's 5 times stronger and faster. And then this one is an automatic trank turret. So if you didn't notice in the other crate, they have trank bullets you can put into this, and they will start. It just automatically just works like a turret, and it can knock out the wild dinos for you. Super awesome. Something simple, but a giant fridge. Now this refrigerator, not only does it have a sick design, it has storage of 640. Okay, this is basically the only refrigerator you need in the base, and it could hold everything. And now the chem bench. Now this chem station is more than a chem station. We're not just crafting narcotics here and making some spark powder. No. Let's just say you need black pearls. Why don't you craft them? And I love the recipe for it. Okay, you want black pearls? What you need to do is get some silica pearls, add a little charcoal and cementing paste, and boom, craft the black pearls. It has craftable element. Not to mention there is a little requirement right there, so it's not too crazy. It does have some balance into it. What else is there? You can craft polymer, organic polymer. And I think one of the most craziest things that I've noticed and seen and used myself is the artifact, the synthetic artifact. So let's just say you're on the island and the hard ice cave is just giving you trouble. You can go ahead and just use one of these generic artifacts in its place, and it works. You can use it for the boss fight, and you can go ahead and just substitute it instead. So super helpful, super amazing. This one chem bench is the god chem bench right here. And something that's not too crazy, but everyone needs is the industrial forge. Now, once you hit this staple in any ARK player's like lifetime, you know you made it. But what makes this one different and crazy is that it crafts 1-for-1 metal. 1-for-1 metal, and you can even get oil from the obsidian rocks. That's right, you can craft oil. We basically like extract it, which I love the whole concept of it. It's amazing. It's super creative. And then you have a small one, which is manageable inside your base. Nothing too crazy. Or unless you want to build like a giant factory again, then you have the vanilla size industrial forge. And then now, what kind of mod would this be without a fabricator? Now, this fabricator is so amazing because it's quiet. Don't have to worry about that loud machinery sound in your ear, and can basically craft everything within the mod and a majority of the vanilla items. Now, some of the items that were released for the Lost Colony aren't in here just yet, but I mean, the map was just released, so I would give the creator, a little bit of time. Definitely update, and I don't doubt they will be added here in the near future. But alrighty, up to the final stretch of this mod. Again, everybody, if you have enjoyed it and you stuck around this long, thank y'all so much. Really appreciate all the support. Don't forget to hit that like button, though. It helps out YouTube telling people like, hey, I like this ARK video. I want to see some more. And I definitely do want to make some more ARK videos. I love this game, and I love doing this. Thank y'all again. But like I said, the final part is this collecting station. Okay? As you can see, some of the items that we have here, basically, there's a structure that will collect each item for you. This one collects your weapons. No need to having to go back to your base and then hot swap all your items into your vault. You can literally throw it on the ground and it will pick it up for you. And then that eliminates also the guessing after you've already hot swapped all your items into your storage chest. You have to go back and you have to go through one and another, trying to figure out where you put your shotgun, where you put that extended flak armor. Well, not anymore, because it gives you exactly right here. This one would pick up the armors, and this one would pick up the weapons. And then, not to mention that, we have a structure pickup collecting base, one for the dyes, and then one for saddles. So, like I said, this mod has everything. They thought of everything. It's amazing. This is why I've used it for so long. And then, to power everything, of course, we're gonna need a way to do it. And this will probably be where you come first, and that will be a solar panel. The GDG solar panel that works like a generator. It has to be outside, of course. I mean, it's a solar panel, and it also deteriorates over time. But this is what you'll be making first to power everything until you're able to get to this one final and amazing piece of this mod, and that is the Uber generator, which works like a tech generator, powers everything, and then also can be powered by spark powder, thatch, wood, oil, and element. So yes, it's a little bit of everything. It's a very, very great mod. And yeah, that will be the end of all the structures. That's what I mean. A good handful of the structures that this mod has. Like I'm saying, this mod has tons to offer everyone. It is a very, very amazing mod. Thank y'all so much if y'all made it this far through the video. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe for some more. This is one of the longer ones I've done before, but like I said, I have a few mod spotlights lined up for y'all, and I would like to say thank y'all again. So don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on the next upload. Like I said, this is the GDG mod. You can find out more information on the Curse Word page. I'll leave a link in the description. I'm the Unhinged Survivor, and I will see you on the next one. Peace out, everybody.